Yo, dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighborhood Jacksplayed here with another Samurai Jack review. And yes, I'm actually going to do something a bit different today because the last few reviews I've done have just been sort of recaps of the episodes. And like, I do my reviews like fused with recaps. But today I just want to just talk about today's episode and not like, just go over the whole thing because I have like a great amount to say about this episode. So today's episode was... It's crazy to me. We have 6 episodes left, so it was episode 6. And it starts off with the 2 furry creatures that we saw that, Jack saved back in the day. And this whole episode, what I absolutely adore about this whole episode is that, like, you see Ashi is searching for Jack. She's trying to find Jack, trying to know, all right, where did he go? Does he really think those children died? I have to find him. I have to help him. And then you start just running into people that the samurai has encountered and us as fans have encountered as well. So if you've been following the show forever, so this is a time, like I will say after watching this episode, I am so unbelievably grateful that I marathoned the first 4 seasons before watching this. Like, I am so freaking grateful that I can fully appreciate this episode because I marathoned the first 4 seasons before the season 5 came on. Because it starts off with those dudes from the Babbitt. I can never know their names exactly. I can't say the specific names. But it has those dudes, those giant furry monster guys who are being controlled by the blue monkey guys with the spears. And remember how Jack saved them in the old series? Like, it goes and they are like saying, "You're trying to hurt Jack?" And Ashi's like, "No, I'm trying to help the samurai. What the heck? What are you guys doing like here? Like, trying to attack me? I'm just trying to find the samurai." And they're like, "He's our friend. We're gonna, help him. We're gonna try and help him, stop Aku." And so she's like, "Oh, okay, wow." And then they tell her the story of how, what we saw back in the old series. So it's like a revamped version of that. It's freaking cool. And then she jumps out the plane, or whatever the blimp it was. She was in some sort of flying machine, and she jumps out. And she goes searching again. You see her just constantly searching. And then also, yeah, there's spoilers in this review. So, like, we find out that the robot guy, Saramuche, yeah, hey, how's it doing, babe? Yeah, that robot guy, he's alive, all right? That's the thing about that robot. He got cut in half, but, he didn't... Poor Jack did not pull a future Trunks on this dude where he, like, diced him down the middle. No, his head is still intact. And one of the key things that just has me on the fucking nerves is, like, he knows that Jack doesn't have his sword. And so, if Aku knows Jack doesn't have his sword, then he can just simply go, bah, fuck you, you're dead. Like, it's just that easy. Like, Aku could end Jack so easily without his sword, because the sword is the only thing that can fucking hurt Aku. Like, what else are you gonna do unless you have that, celestial-looking woman who tried to kill him? Remember in the springtime from season, 3 or 4, the celestial-looking girl with the hair? And then she, like, tried to kill him, but, like, her minions and stuff like that could actually damage Aku, but everyone else is just like... You can't even do it. Like, I sometimes wonder if Saitama can even do anything to Aku, because it's just, he got this force, the only thing that can beat him is that freaking sword, or gods, and whatever. It's crazy. But the whole thing to me, what I absolutely loved, is she goes through this, she's searching for Aku, the guy's trying, I need to go find out how to do that. Oh, by the way, he has one of the funniest, I laughed so hard. So he had this line where he's trying to get on this boat, because he can't get on the boat because this guy's saying, no shirt, no shoes, no dogs, no body, and he doesn't have a body, he's just a head. So he finally gets on the boat, but he's on, like, this really skinny guy's head. And so he says... It cracked me up. He's like, "Oh, yeah, oh my God, look like a talking penis." It's just so weird. Sorry. That scene... It just cracked me up. "Oh my God, looks like a talking penis." Just I don't know, that I was laughing, I was dying when I first saw it, but he's trying to get back home, get to Aku and tell him that, Jack doesn't have a sword. And Ashi, we just go through... It's like a throwback of every character we've seen. Like, it goes like season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4 of like characters met. So you remember that female DJ Samurai Jack helped? They meet her. You remember the archers, the ones that were Anubis gods that were like bow and arrow people? They were like, you meet them, you see that they actually started up families and able to go back to them. And then they built this statue of Jack, and they're like, he saved our lives. We love him. We respect him. We will help him in his final battle. And it's cool because it's like they're gathering all these forces, which are just going to be in the final battle with Aku. And so it's just really nice to see like a flashback. You see him all reanimated. Like they don't go back and show, they don't pull a Dragon Ball Super where they show like Dragon Ball Z clips, which is, it's kind of like the opposite because Super doesn't look as good as Dragon Ball Z did. So Jack now looks way better than it did back in the day, even though they both look phenomenal. And so it's just really amazing to see like compare and be like, wow, I remember that episode. I just watched that episode. That episode was phenomenal. And so we see her just go and meet all these people. She meets the archers, she meets the DJ, she meets the samurai. What's funny is I watched this episode with my bro. If you're watching this, bro, remember we watched this episode 4 days ago, bro. Like we watched the episode with the samurai, the black guy who was acting all tough, and he called himself the samurai. But then Jack gave him like a martial arts lesson on how to actually fight and become the true badass you were meant to be. But he didn't age well, and it's just sad because, you know, black ain't supposed to crack, brother. Black ain't supposed to crack, but he did not keep himself in shape. So it was awful. Oh, and another thing, like you see a bunch of like Easter eggs of characters like throughout the series. I know I keep mentioning that we've seen all these characters, but like Damongo, you remember Damongo, the badass guy, the freaking Damongo that, you know, Aku's like, please forgive me, and he's just like, no, and he crushed him. Apparently he lived, okay? He lived. And he's freaking alive, and he's going there, and he's just like, I am here to collect the souls of evil people. I know I'm not doing Damongo's voice right, but I love Damongo's character design. I love Damongo as a villain because he actually tested Jack besides, you know, because Jack is usually just Batman, One Punch Man, like he just owns everyone easily, but Damongo he actually had to think against. So I absolutely love that. So seeing Damongo again, I was just like, God, yes, dude, yes. And then so Ashi has this moment where she's just like, she has a flashback to when she was a kid and she realizes Aku was born in darkness, and then you see like this black bubbling like coal or shit or whatever. It looks like some crap. And so she goes down and she's pushed into it as an infant, and you see her like her naked child body pushed into it, and it's really just, you know, sad. And then she just like has this realization, yeah, I can't believe I'm wearing this stuff. So apparently, I don't know if they were saying that what she was wearing was like a suit or if it was like stuff she could wash off, because apparently that was some like painted on clothes or something. So that makes all those scenes that you saw before of Asi more and then there's a scene where she like washes all that off, and then has this scene where she dives in the water, and she is, you know, everything's out there, guys. Like I can only imagine, like you see the fan art on Tumblr, guys. I've seen the fan art on Tumblr, like, all right, so I can only imagine the fan art from this stuff. And so she dives in the water, she comes up, and she's just like, okay, I'm dusted myself off, clean up, and she makes herself like really like this nice leaf dress. She looks like freaking you know what it actually looks like is Fern Gully, if you know what I'm talking about. Fern Gully, if that doesn't ring any bells for any of you, but or Tinkerbell, there you go. And she's just trying to find the samurai. She meets all these people, like I said, and then she finally is able to get guided in his direction. And then he's in the graveyard, and I'm pretty sure it's the graveyard that he had that epic battle with Aku in. And all these like demonic entities of like samurai ghosts are saying, we are going to punish you. You can watch this, but we are not going to let you, you know, interfere. And they're basically these 4 samurai demonic ghost things that are like, I guess, forms of Jack's subconscious or something, where he's saying, oh, look, this guy effed up. He let all these children die. He let all these innocent people die. And he has to commit seppuku right now. Like, he has to perform the honorable thing and kill himself. And so Ashi's just saying, you've helped so many people. You've done so great. Jack, why are you doing this? And it's really fascinating to see this character who was just hell-bent. I mean, it's somewhat a bit fast. Like, I will admit some things are a bit fast, like her character. Like, there's this adorable scene of her dancing with the DJs, and she's doing like a go ninja dance, like with the DJ. She's smiling and happiness. It's just adorable to see this character. She's like, I'm happy Ashi is finally feeling some happiness in her life. But she's going like saying, you've helped so many people. You're doing so great. Don't do this, Jack. And so she's actually fighting the samurai ghost. So they weren't like all in Jack's head. She's actually fighting these characters, unless it's like some Shaman King thing where he's like summoning them or something like that. But, you know, Jack snaps out of it, comes out, fights them off, and he's just like, oh, I like your hair, you know, it looks good on you. And she's just like, thanks. And so it was, the episode ends and they are gonna go find his sword. They're finally gonna go find his sword. But the thing I'm worried about is, okay, so Aku, we've seen Aku, you know, kill people before, but I think he's going to have a Ratigan moment. And what I mean by that is, like, if you've ever seen The Great Mouse Detective, the Disney film, Ratigan was, like, this suave, kept-together villain, but then at the end, he just lost his shit and got angry and scary and stuff. So I think that's going to happen with Aku. Aku's going to be like, he doesn't have his sword, and then he's just going to fly at him and just have, like, really demonic, really I don't know, I'm prognostic, whatever, I'm, like, guessing. I don't know what it's called, whatever. But, I thought this episode was great, like, especially since I've seen all the episodes beforehand, so all the character throwbacks and stuff I got, and I was just like, I'm happy. This season is blowing my mind. I honestly give this episode 5 out of 5 because I dropped in nostalgia tears seeing all those characters again, especially, you know, just the Mongo, the guy who's back. I love the Mongo. I'm sorry, guys. I freaking love the Mongo. He was just a great badass villain, but, that was my review of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to comment below. I love talking to you guys, hearing your thoughts and stuff on the episode. But, wow, I really loved it. This season is just doing better and better and better after a while. Some things, I will admit, did seem a bit rushed, like her Ashi's changing character, but I'm honestly loving the show. I'm honestly just re-falling in love with it again. So, gotta give 4 out of 5. Great. I mean, not 5 out of 5 for me this episode. And I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. And be sure to check out my friend Qaaman's Land. He's going to have his review up, and I'm going to leave the link in my description below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be back next week. And remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, don't forget, Momentai. Jack, you have done no wrong, and Gendy, please finish this series strong.